Just ask yourself these 3 questions before you shop. In this video, I'm just gonna give you some tools on how to know if something is just a temporary hype or a long-lasting piece. We have millions of pieces nowadays in the shops, and trends change pretty fast now. Sometimes trends are very subtle. Sometimes they are very interesting. If you invest money in one piece, how can you understand will you still be wearing it in several more months? Will you still want to wear this? I'm just gonna give you very simple rules. Rule number 1, items designed with an anatomical fit stay stylish longer. What does it mean? Something that would repeat natural body silhouette. I'm gonna give you an example. You all probably remember these ugly, huge sneakers. That was a huge trend in 2017. Many fashion and beauty bloggers started promoting this thing. Many people bought this thing. But that was quite short trend, and many people had to spend some money on them. They were not cheap. So now, several years later, many people just don't want to get back to them anymore. And why is that? Because that shape is very far from your natural body shape or foot shape in this case. It's too massive, too trapeze, and it can slightly change the proportions of your body, especially if you have wider bones, wider ankles, or slightly flashy legs or flashy calves. It can really drag you down, and it doesn't work with every outfit, so you really had to choose an outfit so it would not make you look stocky or too angular or too bulky. So women who rocked these shoes were quite slim and elongated, and they were basically bones and skin. So for many women, these shoes became a problem. Now we have this opposite trend, sneakerina. It's basically a combination of ballet flats and sneakers, completely opposite. So they are even more delicate than regular sneakers. Bend very easily. That is very loud trend these days. So let's predict if that trend is going to be more long-lasting. This brand is one of my favorites. I have many shoes from them for years. Bella Hadid was just wearing them, so I think she made them much more popular. So it is definitely a boom, but is it long-lasting? Is it close to your anatomical shape? And the answer for these ones is yes. It is very close to your natural foot shape. That tells us that this trend can be quite long-lasting. This is the softest shoes I've ever worn. They are like slippers. And this is the first time I didn't need any band-aid on my heel. I was walking in them for 2 hours first day. Nothing. This is why I love them so much. It's my favorite shoes now for every day. Let's talk about jeans. So skinny jeans are not on trend now. However, I think everybody can still rock it. Just make sure they're not super stretched like leggings. As for straight jeans, they are the most classic piece, even if you feel like they're slightly too wide for you. Once they sit good in a butt area, you're good. Now, what is really far from our anatomical shape is barrel jeans, so please be careful with them, especially if you have wide bones or soft flesh. Now I'm gonna give you another little tool how to look at things. Today, it feels like everything has been already created. Nothing new. Every new piece we see is created in slightly new style, in a slightly new manner. And what many brands do, they combine the styles. They combine uncombinable. Sometimes it can be combination of opposites, or they can combine things from different eras. Sneakers is a casual style or sport style. This ballerina flavor comes from a romantic, very feminine, but also everyday style. Normally, flat ballerina shoes are not evening shoes. It's a daytime but very feminine shoes that should be comfortable because they don't have any heel, but still look quite nice with dresses and skirts. That is a combination of these two things. And yes, these two things are kind of different, but as far as they both belong to the day, they look harmonious. Now they have these cute laces, but the good point is that you can remove them and keep just regular laces. That is another plus point. So if you don't want it to look too much like ballet flats, too gentle, too romantic, you just remove it and it looks like regular sneakers. Genius thing about these is these laces are rubber, so you don't have to constantly untie them, which I loved very much, very comfortable. Some people might say, yeah, rubber thing is not very elegant, but the thing is, it is stretched around your foot. I'm gonna leave the link down below on their shop. I have not very standard foot, size 6, but it's slightly wide for its shortness. So it's not wide overall, but as a combination of width and length, my foot is slightly shorter in length, so I have to buy shorter shoes. But the width here is a little bit too narrow for me in all the other shoes. Here, my bones are resting. My bones on my feet are not feeling any pressure any pain like it does from regular sneakers, which are much more solid, much more firm here. So everybody who has this bump on their feet, I recommend you to check these. In 2000s, this type of shoes became very popular. Remember them? The shape of them is very casual, very sporty, and then they added stones to them. And in my personal opinion, in 2000s, that was that era when fashion got a little bit crazy and not aesthetically pleasing, because they started combining styles in a not very flattering way, in my viewpoint. I think it's also an art to combine two opposite messages, two opposite energies in one piece and make it a new classic. First of all, stones don't look good during the day. Stones is a more evening thing, and it cheapens the look very much if it's worn during the day. In combination with these daytime sneakers, is just way too far, and also this piece is very, very loud. So it's really hard in my viewpoint to look classy in this type of sneakers. I'm closer to a classic style and vintage, but I love vintage that is slightly rethought for today. For example, this blouse. It slightly reminds us of a Victorian blouse. Women were wearing this type of blouses in 19th century. They had these puffed shoulders, they had this separate front piece, they had this high collar, but it's made with denim. Denim was something opposite, because denim as a fabric was worn by miners, by men who were working on mines. It was very comfortable clothes. It was quite stiff, thick. It had a lot of pockets, so they would put their heavy tools in them. And the shape was much simpler, of course. Very square. I'm gonna leave the link on everything that I wear today in the description. So it is quite close to my anatomical shape, so it doesn't look too wide. It doesn't have too puffed sleeves. It's not too sleek. It's not too oversized. It's not too low. It's not too high. It's not too long. It's not too short. That is already enough for me to say that this particular silhouette of this blouse is quite close to my body. So it's a plus point for me. I know that I'm going to wear it for a long time and it's not going to attract a lot of attention. Denim is another plus point because denim is very safe option. There are certain things that I don't like in denim. Something like that, well, like too much. Too girly, too frilly, like something that just doesn't fit to this fabric itself. But dark blue is the most flattering color for everyone. So that is another thing. It's still a little bit upgraded already. It's slightly interesting. It doesn't look as simple. It does make me feel like I'm a little bit more stylish now. But at the same time, it still looks effortless. It doesn't attract that much attention. People still look at me in this blouse. And here's a little example how it would not be the case. First, look at the shape, way too exaggerated, too puffy on the sides, too wide around the waist area. So it's already not close to my anatomical shape. So it will attract much more attention and distort my proportions. Plus the pattern. The pattern is cool, it's not that bad, but still it's adding noise. It becomes even more memorable. So I would not buy this particular blouse. Another cool thing that is back on trend is velvet. And before, they mostly used velvet for suits or dresses. So this is a pretty much new thing now that they make shirts or vests with velvet. And in this color, it looks slightly 70s. So I really love that trend. I myself spoke about velvet in my Style Don'ts videos. And now I'm pleasantly surprised. Shirts in this texture look very upgraded, but still effortless and very simple. Now we go to question number 2, and it is how busy and memorable pattern or color is. Yes, colors and patterns can also be on trend or not on trend. And these patterns are not always gonna be on trend still. If the patterns are very loud, and if you feel like it gets way too memorable, and if you come to work in this piece 3 times in a row, people will definitely remember this piece. I do think though that sometimes you should have some bright pieces in your wardrobe if you really love them. So it's not the point. Ask yourself if you already had something similar in the past, that you had a very bright piece in a color, let's say, that you don't feel is flattering for you. Let's say you need 3 times more makeup to actually wear this color because otherwise the color is wearing you. That's a good point. You might not need this thing because even though it's trendy, you just might not want to wear it in some time. The safest point here, again, to go for most classic colors, those are navy blue, black, beige, ivory, white, sky blue, maybe red, maybe leopard, gray, brown. So those are the colors you can never go wrong with. So those are the colors that will be much more long lasting. I'm not even talking about trends. Who cares? Like, wear what you like, but it's going to be more long lasting for you. We want to make you enjoy your wardrobe and feel like, oh, I want to wear this piece again, because you feel comfortable in that, you feel pretty in that, but you know that nobody will remember that piece itself. And it's much more universal to combine it with many more different pieces in your wardrobe, and every time creating a new outfit. So that is another good thing to think about. This kind of pattern is timeless too. Chanel made it timeless in the beginning of the 20th century. And this is a very classic combination of black color and beige color. So that type of shoes will always last you forever, even though it's still on trend now. You can find these shoes. I'm gonna leave the link down below. It's my favorite shoes too. You should know the staples of classic wardrobe. You should know approximately what are those staple pieces which survived all those decades of the 20th century, and they traveled all the way to the 21st century, and we are wearing them now, and they look very, very normal. I always have this golden standard in my head, so everything I see online, I'm comparing to that staple pieces in wardrobe. There are so many bloggers who talk about basic wardrobes, classic wardrobes, so you can always watch those videos and kind of remember what is it for each item of your wardrobe that makes this things so timeless. I personally can definitely imagine Grace Kelly wear these sneakers. I can't imagine Grace Kelly wear Balenciaga sneakers, for example. That is another plus point for me. I know how to style these things with the most classic and elegant wardrobe that's gonna last for many, many years from now. And it just depends on what you prefer. For example, I have two types of wardrobes. One for filming my videos, mostly my music videos, because when I'm filming my fashion videos, I'm wearing here what I would normally wear every day, maybe slightly upgraded. I like a little bit more comfortable and casual clothes for every day. So when I'm purchasing a thing, I know I'm gonna wear it for my music channel. I know the pieces that would match songs that I love to sing, and it's not something that I would wear for every day. I'm not thinking about fabric in this case. I'm not thinking about how comfortable this piece is. I'm still liking when it's repeating my body shape because it's still less memorable and it's not distorting my proportions. So it just looks more harmonious on camera and still allows me to mix this thing more with other pieces and not buy tons of other stuff, because layers is an amazing tool on how to create a completely new outfit next day. Now, at this stage of developing my own wardrobe, I started adding a little bit more of bright pieces and colorful pieces into my wardrobe, but only after I already created my base. I got very bored of this base, and now I feel like I have enough data, enough knowledge of myself. I feel my energy more, I feel my vibe, I know where I'm going. So I added a little bit more of crazy pieces to my wardrobe. I have my favorite crazy Christmas sweater that I bought 15 years ago for just $5 on AliExpress. It is still my favorite sweater, and I wear it so often, sometimes every day. Many people give me a lot of compliments. Why I love this sweater also is slightly combination of opposites, because this sweater is a Christmas sweater with deers, of course, but the colors are tropical. So when we think about Christmas, we think more about white, red, green, snow, Santa. And this one is in tropical colors. It's a tropical night. Dark blues, turquoise, yellows, oranges. So this is my combination of opposites. I love this type of mixture of concepts in one piece, and I'm so happy I found this. It appeared to be very good quality actually. I washed it so many times and I don't have even one fluff on the surface. Cable knits are back in style, though sometimes they look old-fashioned. I personally like them in rich, deep colors. It feels more classic and bold than soft pastels, but that's just my taste. For example, this cardigan with the interesting neckline could have been worn by Grace Kelly in the 50s, or fit the old money vibe in the 80s. It's not too small or too big. Calm, symmetrical, and rich. So I know it will stay in my wardrobe for a long time, even though it's trendy now. And the question to ask yourself, number 3. Would I wear this item at all? Do I wear this type of items in my life? I'm gonna give you a little hint how you can check it. First of all, imagine the situation. I'm your friend. I'm coming to your town and I tell you, can you show me the most beautiful places of your town? We can go for a walk and then we can just go to a cafe, get some coffee and talk. What would that be that you would wear? It should be comfortable because we're gonna walk the whole day. Comfortable for your weather, so it depends on where you live. If it's layers, then what would you normally wear for layers? So it would be comfortable in all the cases for you. What is crucial for your comfort, I would say? You probably would want to look good, slightly upgraded, but not too much, not over the top, but still not super casual, not something that you would wear in a gym. What would that be? Maybe it would be just a t-shirt and your favorite pants? Are you getting cold very fast, or you're a very hot person? What is it? You really have to think about it. And then that piece that you see everybody's talking about online and it looks great on that girl who's showing you this piece, would you actually wear it? It's like with blazers. Blazers became such a popular piece, but I noticed there are so many women, they buy blazers but they just don't wear it. They feel awkward in them. They feel like it's a little bit too uncomfortable for them. They feel like in a box. Another thing to look at is what is your body structure. And we don't go to the body types today. It's quite vast subject. There can be actually 10 body types and they're very specific. But if we make it very, very rough, if you're on a wider side, whether you have this wider bones or musculature or flesh, but you're just wider or rounder overall, there are certain pieces that you probably would not want to go for. So if you're inspired by a girl who has thin bones and she's elongated, maybe she doesn't have any width or any curves, it's going to look much more different on you. And what on her looks effortless, on you can look very, very upgraded. If you're a regular size, not plus size, but you feel like you're slightly more stocky, more squarish or more wider, and have wider bones, let's say wider rib cage or wider hips, or overall you have wider body, more flesh, you can definitely follow the advices for plus size women too, because that's gonna be quite stylish on you too, because all they're doing is elongating the silhouette, or at least not widening that silhouette, unlike some other body types do. I am somewhere in the middle. My shoulders are on a narrower side. My rib cage is actually quite narrow. And my head, my cheeks are slightly more rounded comparing to that part of my body. So for me, it's more or less safe to go for something wider on top here. I know that in some years, I can still wear that and it might look okay on me because it will correct my proportions. It won't alter them too much. But for example, for wider boned women, if they would get something like this bomber, for example, with this type of sleeves, which are very, very on trend nowadays, that type of a silhouette can make them look very bulky and very stocky. It might look cool on a thinner boned women or an elongated women, on long women. For you, you might go for some other trends. Just keep this, it's fine. Okay, so let's recap. What are these 3 questions should be? So first, ask yourself, how close is it to your anatomical shape? Basically, how close is it to your body? It doesn't mean that it has to be very slim to your body. It just has to repeat the natural outline of your body, just natural silhouette. These options are normally safer than if you go for something exaggerated. Here, there, parachute pants, something added there for your silhouette that you normally don't have in your body. This is when you know that the trend is normally pretty short. Number 2, how simple is it? Is it overloaded with details, patterns, accessories, different additions? How memorable is it? How loud is it? And how easy is it going to be for you to combine it with the rest pieces of your wardrobe? And number 3, do you wear these things at all? Maybe you don't, unless you know exactly where you're gonna wear it and how it's gonna look on you. Okay, so let me know in the comments if there's another question you have in mind that you would ask yourself before buying this or that thing. And let me know if there was a trend that you did fall for, that you did buy, but then in a quite short time you realized that you don't want to wear it anymore. And what was that piece? And is it corresponding with anything that I said today? I hope that helped. Thank you. Bye.